on to another very high yield topic, that is Mullerian anomalies. This is the recent most classification. There are many classifications which came in between the SRA, the ASRM. Now the ASRM 2021 has come out, which is more of an app. It's a tool. It's a tool which is on an app, and you can find it on your phones. And these are the classification categories. So there are now 9 categories. Mullerian agenesis, cervical agenesis is separate, unicornuate, didelphys, bicornuate, septate. Then they've divided the septums. Longitudinal septum is one category, transverse septum is one category, and then complex anomalies in one category. Now, MRCOG we have discussed in detail, so I won't go there. We start with unicornuate uterus. Unicornuate uterus is when you have the Mullerian duct development, you have 2 Mullerian ducts, and each develop and then they fuse to form one uterus, right? Now, in unicornuate uterus, what happens? Only one horn, one Mullerian duct develops. The other regresses, or it may form a small horn attached to the main uterine cavity. Now, unicornuate uterus presents very commonly with either recurrent abortions. In fact, before this, it can present as infertility. It can present as abortions. It can present as preterm labor, as fetal growth restriction, and as malpresentations. Okay, so this is how unicornuate uterus will present. But if there is a rudimentary horn, okay, look at these first 3 pictures. This is a communicating horn. This is a non-communicating horn, but which has a functional endometrium. This is a horn which has no cavity, nothing inside, just a horn attached, and this is no horn. Okay, so in fact the majority, almost 65% of unicornuate uterus will have a horn. And if it has a horn, then you have several problems. So if it has a horn which is communicating and has a cavity, here the problem you can have here is you can have an ectopic pregnancy in the rudimentary horn, which typically presents as a mid-trimester rupture of the horn and hemoperitoneum or shock, patient coming in shock in the second trimester. Always think of a pregnancy in a rudimentary horn. The second type, where it is non-communicating but having functional endometrium, what's going to happen? This is going to bleed, and she's going to have a small hematocolpos, which will eventually may lead to endometriosis. So she's going to have cyclical abdominal pain, but she's not going to have primary amenorrhea because one horn is completely functional. The pain is because of the other horn. So worsening dysmenorrhea, endometriosis, always think of a possible horn. It's another obstructive type of Mullerian anomaly. Usually this one will not present any other significant symptom other than these symptoms. Okay, and this also will not have any other significant symptoms. Now, if there is a rudimentary horn, if you diagnose a rudimentary horn, you have to excise it. Either laparoscopically or laparotomy, excision of the horn has to be done. Otherwise, per se, for unicornuate uterus, there is no surgical management which is evidence-based, which can increase the size of the cavity.